What is he?
Oh no, it's Ragiroth Enterprises!
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the springer. I love to sing about a sky of blue or a keyboard too.
Enterprises.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mark Yoon, and today I am joined by Rich from Ragiroth Enterprises. What's up, Rich?
Nothing much, Mark. How you doing? It's been a while.
I'm chilling. Yeah, it's been a while. It's a little shiny, but whatever. So why don't you tell everyone why we're here today? What we're going to be discussing.
All right. So basically, we recently got two kind of big bits of news for Soul Calibur 6. We got a really cool created character trailer, and then we heard of who the first, I guess, the bonus pre-order season pass character, whatever you want to call it, is going to be, and it's none other than our girl Tira from Soul Calibur 3. And there's been a lot of, I guess, negativity and I guess complaints from a lot of people that, you know, they're showing, you know, basically the typical thing we've heard a lot of fighting games that do this kind of pre-order character stuff where people aren't happy that, you know, you have to pre-order something and get a DLC character, and they fully showed off a DLC character even before we've seen the full roster. That's why we're generally here and what we're here to talk about today.
Right, and so basically the reaction that we've been seeing over Twitter or whatever other social media that we're talking about is a general negative reaction to this, saying that people feel as if it's like a deplorable tactic, or as if it's like a money grab, or as if like, why can't she be in the base roster? Just like it's like more companies doing money stealing stuff from the consumer and taking advantage of us. And we actually have an alternate opinion towards that, because I don't know 100% about Rich, but I know for me, I'm on the side of like, this isn't such a bad thing.
I'm basically on the same side. Like, yeah, obviously, I wish she was in the base roster, and I wish, you know, I wish we didn't have to pre-order the season pass to get anyone else. But it's like, I'm okay with it, and like, I kind of expected it. Like, they've kind of already announced this, like, way back when. It just maybe wasn't clear of who it was. And, yeah,
right.
It might have been 100% clear.
Right. So there's like different reasons that I have to defend the action though, and I think I want to go over the first one just to get into this little conversation. The first one is, since the game's been leaked and since before we knew anything was like coming out, like we pretty much knew that like this game was supposed to take time somewhere like loosely around the events of Soul Caliburs 1 and 2. And can you please state for the jury which game Tira is from?
Soul Calibur III.
Yeah, so she was introduced in Soul Calibur 3, my personal favorite Soul Calibur. I do really like her as a character, but the thing is that if she doesn't fit into the story, she is a very popular character, and we know that there's a lot of fans that we think that maybe Bandai Namco is saying that like, hey, well, if we don't put her out here, we just like announce her in December when the first DLC comes out, people are gonna be mad that she wasn't in the base game, even though she has nothing to do with the story. So it's kind of like a pre-order bonus type thing, and I know a lot of people don't like pre-order bonuses, but my first point of contention is just pretty much to say, at least we have her, kind of, like, you know what I mean, like, because like
You'll be able to play her day one.
Yeah, we'll be playing her day one. I mean, if you get the season pass, but most people who get games are gonna get the season pass. Let's be honest. Like, they nowadays, like, I mean, I do it automatically for games that I like. I do it for games I don't like. Like, I have the season pass for Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I haven't even downloaded the first character because I put the game down because I was so tired of the empty content in the game, which is something we'll get into in a little bit. But how do you feel generally about it?
What with the situation with Tira?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like when I when I did my reaction video to it, like for those, it didn't even cross my mind. I was just kind of happy with seeing her and how she looked and all that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm pre-ordering the game and I'm probably pre-ordering the season pass anyway. So it's like, it didn't even occur to me as a bad thing. I kind of thought we all kind of knew. I kind of thought we all knew this was coming with some character, and I thought just because it's like, you know, so many other games do this, it's like, is it really that much of a surprise at this point? And I know like people are like, oh well, you know, just because everyone does it doesn't make it right. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you're correct, but it's like, also it's like this game in most people's opinions, like I know like our opinions at least, it's been like kicking a lot of ass. Like we've been basically happy with every aspect of it. You're really gonna let like one thing like this totally destroy that? Like something that all these other fighting games do that some of them haven't even been delivering as well as this game. You're gonna let this one thing ruin that for you? A character you can play day one? Like, I don't know. To me, I think it is a bit silly.
I mean, the biggest argument that everybody had for the lackluster content that was in Soul Calibur 5 was that it was rushed and that they thought that like we needed more single player content. We were among those people. All there was outside of the really lackluster and crappy story mode that didn't have like hardly any of the cast was this kind of card battle mode where you create your character and go up against a seemingly endless amount of other, kind of like a gauntlet mode, like from Dissidia kind of thing, but against other created characters. So there's pretty much nothing to do except that and playing online. And I wanted more content because the reason that Soul Calibur 3 is my favorite Soul Calibur is because we have Chronicles of the Sword, because we have the character customization, the actual interaction in Chronicles with its own like storyline. We have the main cast storyline. We have the gallery mode, the museum, like all this awesome single player stuff that we don't have to worry about. Way more, yeah. And granted, at the time, there was no like really strong, like competitive play was really just starting to bud because only a few games for PlayStation 2 allowed that, like Mortal Kombat Armageddon and like Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects. There were only a very few select games that used the network adapter to play online. And I don't believe Soul Calibur 3 was one of them.
I don't know, it didn't.
I don't think it was. So we're getting this start off with this game. We have every character pretty much that we knew from Soul Calibur 1 and 2. We're still waiting for a few, granted, but like the roster's looking great and robust. We have Chronicles of the Sword mode, that new Chronicles of the Sword mode for your created character. It seems like an exploitably robust amount of stuff in our character editors now, along with the regular story. And like, so I don't understand why people are complaining about getting more stuff. Like, yeah, if you don't want Tira, go ahead and don't buy the season pass. If you're going to buy the season pass anyway because you want the game, and I know this is I hate this kind of like remark to like just don't buy it if you don't want it, but I mean, it's extra for a reason. Like, she wasn't a part of Soul Calibur 1 or 2's story. Zasalamel, you could always argue, is in the game, but that's because he's always been in the background.
I also think it's also because it's like Zasalamel also probably got a bit of a push because it's like he wasn't in Soul Calibur 5, so there was a little more of a priority to put in this game because it's like, oh, he missed out on the last one, let's get him in this one too.
Right. And they just announced it, yesterday? And let's remember that, like, the game's coming out in 2 months, in, like, October 19th. So the game's already probably done and shipped. Like, it's probably printed, probably done.
They actually announced, I think, like at this time of Gamescom, they actually announced it's gone gold. So, it's done.
So it's done. So, like, they probably still needed to work on some things for Tira. Maybe for the character creator using her weapon, or maybe it was for, like, some customization options including her. We don't know what it would entail, but it could also
things too, because I have seen a video or two. The person noticed, or like her outro, there was a slight glitch or something like that. So it could be like little things like that too that just aren't ready.
Yeah, what probably happened is they probably finished the game, and then it obviously went gold already. So they finished the game, and then now they're gonna say, okay, well, let's start working on the DLC characters. And like maybe they were ahead of schedule and they got Tira mostly done, but they couldn't quite fit her into like the roster. Maybe she was always meant to be DLC because that's the game plan they had built out for it. I understand the argument about like, well, if she's already done, she should be in the base game. But just because the game's coming out in 2 months doesn't mean that the game's like going to be done the day before it comes out. Like, you don't go to GameStop the day that it finishes it and they don't print you out a copy there. Like, the game's been done usually like a few months before it ships, like, because they had to do bugs and glitch tests and all that kind of stuff. They're not working on like
a lot of stuff,
character models and stuff like that, like this late in the game. Like, let's face it, all the DLC characters are already done. They just need to be bug tested. They need to be beta tested. They need to make sure that they work well with the other characters.
I guess it depends on how fast we're getting them, because I feel like Tekken 7, it took a while for like Geese to come out and then Noctis and stuff. So for all, we don't know how far. They're probably not going to take as long because more chances are they're probably like at least some of them are returning characters, so they probably won't take as long. But yeah, they're probably already in like at least the planning stages. They're probably making models for them and stuff like that.
So I guess the question I would ask people that watch this in disbelief would be like, did you not plan on buying any of the DLC whatsoever? Is just DLC like a taboo thing for you? Because if I recall, when I was playing Soul Calibur 3, if they were like, hey, there's this new character, let's just use Grow for an example. There's this new character, Grow. Do you want to add him to your Soul Calibur 3 roster? He's only $2.99. Like, I would have bought an extra character even back then to add to my already expansive experience. Like, you're not taking anything away, you're adding stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're privileged to have, like, extra downloadable content. And like I said, like, yeah, it can be a pain sometimes. I have Dissidia NT, and because of all the games coming out, I can't afford to get all the characters that are out right now. Renoa just came out, and Final Fantasy 8 is my favorite, and I can't download it yet because I don't have the money. But, I mean, I know she's there whenever I get the money to want to download her. And am I complaining that she's not in the base game? Like, not really, because I wouldn't expect Renoa to be in a base game like this anyway. Like, she would always be like some kind of...
Yeah, most of the new characters in Dissidia were representing a game that hasn't been presented. Tactics, 14,
Crisis Core.
15, and did I say
Crisis Core?
Type 0. Well, no, there's not anyone from Crisis Core in the game yet.
Well, Zach is coming, right? Or apparently?
Possibly. There's something...
Rumored?
Rumored, yeah. No, I just meant in the base game, all the new characters are representing a game that hasn't been represented in the city at all yet. Type 0, 15, Tactics, and 14. But yeah.
I mean, it's not like we can't see where people are coming from. Yeah, you don't want to shell out the extra money, and games are expensive.
I mean, here's, I guess, probably the one issue I have is like I usually get season passes, but it is annoying when it's like I get a season pass and then like there's maybe at least a few characters that I'm like, oh, I really didn't want to get them. So like it would be nice because they're doing this, and I know they're not going to do this. But if they kind of told us who's going to be in the season pass, like, oh, like it was just like a render of them or just a list of them, who's all going to be in. Maybe if there's a guest character, maybe you could save them as a secret because that's like a bigger deal. But if it's like Cassandra or like, I don't know, like Rock or something, like just tell us that they're going to be in the season pass. Like.
But I mean, I guess when it comes down to that notion, you could just buy whatever character you want anyway. Then you don't have to get everybody. Like, you don't have to get the season pass. You can just buy Tira if you want.
Yeah, though then I guess it's like you are paying separately for Tira. I guess that's, but you know, it's a whole other conundrum. But I don't think it's not that big of a deal to me.
I just get them because they're usually a lot cheaper to end up getting the season pass than it is to get everything.
Too, and I guess just so you have everybody, just for the hell of it.
Oh, because nowadays games have that stupid roster system where, like, especially Dissidia and Dead or Alive, where, like, they'll show the stupid character in your roster even though it's only DLC.
Yeah, so it makes it feel like you don't have a complete character select screen.
Right, and then I have to feel like I buy it. Like, I need to buy it. Like, I mean, Dead or Alive is the worst with that. Like, in Dead or Alive 5, like, when I go to, like, select a costume, and I've probably spent, like, $200 to $300 on costumes in that game, but still, like, you gotta go through, like, 8 locked ones in order to get to the one you already bought. And it's really annoying, because it's like, don't show me the stuff I don't have. So I can kind of understand that if they're going to try and pull something like that, but that's just speculation. We don't know what the character screen is going to do with that. Like, it may just be add a new circle, or it may, we don't know how it's going to change over the course of the DLC being released.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to say is, I think part of the reason why they chose Tira, for anyone that's kind of complaining, like, oh, why Tira? I think it's partially because, well, I know, and I could just be speculating here. I feel like maybe it was, the choice between her or like maybe like Talon to be like the pre-order season pass character. I think it's because they're both like younger female characters that weren't introduced in the first game that are fairly popular. And they probably prioritized Talon because she wasn't in 5 unlike Tira. So like they thought, her being in would be a bigger deal. Also, I don't know, Talon might be older than Tira. I know she was probably younger than her in 2, but I don't know how old Tira was in 2. That's a whole other thing. So Talon might kind of have to be a little older, just enough older to kind of fit in the timeline better. And I guess also because I know Talon was like the most requested character, while Tira I know is requested, but she wasn't like very top. So I think it might be one reason they chose Tira. Like, she's popular enough, but like at the same time not like necessary enough to like be kind of that bonus pre-order character.
I mean, but I think the biggest argument we've seen is that that she should be in the base roster, but people don't understand the game's done. Like, it's finished.
Yeah.
Like we don't know how long Tira was to take, and like you said, people have already even in her own character reveal, been pointing out glitches just from that. Like, it's probably still not done.
Yeah.
Tira is probably still not finished, but they have 2 months to work on her before the day 1 patch is released. So,
I think another thing is too. I think people don't realize this, and to be honest, I didn't really think this either. Like the ESRB has to kind of get, I guess, advanced notice of what's in the game, and look at the game before they give a rating, and that takes some time too. So like, it could just be something they'd never done in time to kind of for the ESRB, and not that she would have changed the rating of the game, but I guess they still kind of need a certain amount of things to be shown in the game before, you know, they can, I guess, start selling it, start shipping it out and stuff.
I don't know, that 3/4 of an inch under boob might get it like in a...
Yeah, I know. And she's a pretty sadistic character too. You know, might push up a little bit. But
which one of her personalities are you judging?
All of them.
So, I mean, I guess basically what Rich and I are trying to say, and I'm sure we'll go into a few more things, but I just want to say that, like, we understand what you guys are saying, but it just takes a second to, like, try and research something before you just start spitting out opinions online. Like, I know it's, like, really hard to do because the internet's readily available right there at your fingertips.
I think people also get reactions that they always just like, you know.
Yeah, like, people are freaking out, like, how about you not take a step back and realize that, like, Soul Calibur 6 is leading up to being, like, the best Soul Calibur game that's ever come out, and one of the best games that is coming out, especially fighting, in this past year. I mean, look at all the content we've gotten from, we have, Dragon Ball FighterZ that has, like, nothing outside of the story to do. There's nothing to do. And we have Dissidia, where, like, you can't even play the story mode unless you do, like, Gauntlet mode over and over and over and over and over again. And don't even be started on Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker.
Oh. God.
A game that I am not buying. Like, I've never missed since Naruto, Ultimate Ninja 2 on PlayStation 2. I've had every single Naruto day 1 since then, and I'm not buying this game because it has no single player content.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, like, me and Rich can only play co-op against big giant bosses so many times, and I don't really like capture the flag in games that I like, so why would I like it in this one?
Not to mention, but like Jump Force and My Hero Academia are kind of like anime games that looks like they have more single player stuff, and one of them even has create a character also. So I don't want to hear it, Shinobi Strikers. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of more disappointed in that because I was, like, excited for that game until, like, I played the beta, and then until, like, I found out there's really nothing, like, going on with it. But I mean, it's whatever. I'm sure they're, like, feeding to a certain demographic, and those people want to do what they want to do. It's not for me, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. I'm just not going to buy it. But that doesn't have anything to do with the fact that this game does cater to single player. They did hear us from Soul Calibur 5. They have addressed many of the points that we've been, like, focused on, like, trying to make sure they hear. Like, Motohiro Okubo has been, like, really good on Twitter, like, talking to people too. Yeah. So I don't get why there's, like, this sudden. I mean, I get why there's this sudden rush, but I don't understand 100%. Like, I get where it comes from, but it's, like, more reactionary than anything. Like, when I first saw DLC, the first thing I did is my heart dropped too, and I was like, why are they announcing DLC characters before the game was over? But then I just sat back and thought about it, and, like, if you know anything about, like, the distribution industry or, like, the game publishers or the developers, things start to fall into place more than just, like, us who just buy the game and expect everything to be there day 1.
Another thing is, because I know I've seen people say, like, you know, oh, why are they showing it before showing, you know, all the base, you know, the base roster characters? And I mean, the thing is, they have to tell us what, I guess, the pre-order bonus, even though it's not for the games, for the season pass, is, like, a while in advance. So, like, you know, they can get those pre-orders. Like, telling us, like, I mean, I don't know when the last, you know, official base game character deal will be, but it's like, it's probably going to be, like, close-ish to release. And I think that's kind of, it's probably cutting it a little too close for that. And the thing is, it's like, so, okay, so say if the situation was the same, and, like, you know, you still get Tira for pre-order season pass, but, like, they told us, like, maybe early October, late September. It's like the situation is still the same. I'd kind of rather know who it is sooner and see her in action than kind of later. I'd rather get out of the way, and, you know, and I really like Tira, so I'm happy, you know, I was happy to see her in action. So it's the result's the same, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if, like, these people, like, wanted her in the base game, I mean, I get it, like, but what are you gonna do? Like, she's not in the base game, so it's like it's their choice who they put in the game. And since this is covering the events of 1 and 2, pretty much, like we know that like Tira's not there, so like it's. I'm just happy she's there to begin with because I didn't even think we were going to get her DLC.
I mean, I guess because it's a kind of a soft reboot, they could have worked in events to make her so she is there. But it's like, eh. And the other thing is, we don't 100% know she's not going to be in the story mode because I know, like with Elise, with Elisa and Tekken 7, she did have a story thing, as brief as that stupid thing was. So they could. I know that's probably wishful thinking, but it's.
I mean, if anything, maybe she'll be part of like the Chronicles of the Sword thing, like the secondary story, because I know that Geralt plays a big part in that, and whoever that wizard dude is, I mean, there's speculation that it's Bro's dad, right? But I mean, like,
I first thought it was, but I don't think it is. I think my gut reaction was like, "Oh my god, it's Bro's dad!" But then it's like seeing it again, it's like, "Oh, I don't think that's his dad." But
it might be the dude who killed Bro's dad, and maybe that's why he's going after Gro. I mean, there's tons of speculative stuff we can throw out there, but I mean, it doesn't really do us any good.
Yeah,
it's fun, but it doesn't do us any good.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll be a part of that story mode. Like, who knows? But we need to like not be so quick to outrage. We need to like take steps back and take a breath and like the game is going to be a great game. Like I'm already calling it right now. Like it's leading up to looking like my favorite Soul Calibur game ever, and I haven't changed my mind since 3. So I don't like. I played the free-to-play one when it came out. I played Broken Souls on the PSP. I even played that adventure mode one on the Wii. Like I mean, I played like every Soul Calibur game, and 3 is my favorite. I know a lot of people say 2, but I mean that's like up to your opinion. But 3 is my personal favorite, and I'm not scared about this game at all. Like I really have no fears about this game anymore from what they've shown us. Like I'm still slightly afraid of like Jump Force. I'm still slightly afraid of like there's a ton of My Hero Academia. I still have a little bit of reservations for that game, but like I still want one's justice. But Soul Calibur, I'm like completely calm with. I pre-ordered the collector's edition. Like I'm getting the collector's edition, so I don't have to worry about Tira anyway. But I know that's like a rare thing because not everyone has like $150 to throw at like a game. Yeah. But still, even if you're buying just the digital deluxe edition or the deluxe edition, it's like what, like $100 because it comes with the game and the season pass. I was like, is it 80 or 90?
It might not even be that. I can check real quick.
Yeah, because if it's not, then I think it's $89.99 because like the game's like $65 itself. So like
I feel like it's 80 or 90. That's what I feel like. Let's see.
I would guess $89.99.
Oh, actually, it is $100. It is $100.
So it's $100.
So why isn't it coming on for Xbox One? Or why is it? Okay, yeah, there is PS4. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's $99.99 on GameStop at least.
Yeah, so I mean, if you don't want the Sophia statue, if you don't want like the steelbook case, if you don't want the soundtrack or the art book, you can just get the $100 version. Like, and like you're gonna, that everything that comes out within this season is gonna be available to you. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's like closer to me that I got a little argumentative because Soul Calibur is my favorite fighting game series, and like it's never really disappointed me except for 5 somewhat. But I still play 5 to this day. Like, I mean, you guys that are watching my channel or Rich's channel know that we've done extensive videos using footage of our own gameplay from 5 and stuff like that. And
yeah, I mean, I think every Soul Calibur game, I mean, I never played Legends, but at least of the fighting games, for the most part, have all been, I still like them all. I mean, 4 and 5 are the most disappointing ones for me, but I still think they're good games. They're just my...
Did you play the free-to-play one that was on PlayStation Network?
I didn't even bother. If they added, like, Zosimo or something, I would have played it, but they didn't really add anyone I really wanted that was missing from 5. But and another thing I wanted to mention, I kind of harped on this a little earlier in the video, is like I just don't want like, I want this game to sell well, and it's like I don't want people to kind of not buy it and stuff. And I think it's probably in the long run it'll probably be a minority that doesn't buy it because of this, but I don't want this to kind of hurt the game's sales and stuff, just for this one little thing that like a ton of other fighting games do all the time. Because it's like, this is the first Soul Calibur we've gotten in a while. It's looking pretty good, and mostly all fronts. So it's like I don't, I just think it's silly to kind of let this one thing ruin it and get left.
It's literally been so long that I remember I picked up Soul Calibur 5's Collector's Edition in South Street in Philly before I got married. Like, I think I was dating my wife at the time, before, like, when the game came out. And, like, I mean, like, it's been like 7 or 8 years? Like, it's been a long time since, like, the last one's come out.
And like, I know, here, I'll give you another example about me being, like, about a case of not being happy with something DLC, but not letting the game ruin it. So basically, like, all right, it's not 100% confirmed, and for those that watch my channel, have seen my Devil May Cry 5 videos, I talk about how it looks like Virgil will probably be a character you have to, like, buy down the road, you have to wait for all the DLC again, like he usually is. Like, yeah, I'm pissed about that, and it is hurting my hype for the game a little bit, but it's like, I'm still getting it day one. It's still one of my most anticipated games. I'm not letting that one thing ruin it for me, so that's all I'm saying.
Devil May Cry 4 is a good example for that. Like, I played Devil May Cry 4 on PlayStation 3, and then I bought it again on PlayStation 4 because, like, it had all the, the special edition stuff with it where you can actually play as Virgil and stuff. Yeah. That was a big deal for us when that came out, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a huge deal. And, I mean, I admittedly hope you don't have to wait that long for Devil May Cry 5 to add him and stuff like that, but, my point still stands.
So, I mean, I guess basically what we're saying is, like, if you guys have any differing opinions, like, we'd love to hear you in the comment section down below. Like, tell us, like, why you do think this is, like, deceitful practice, or why you, like, or what your misunderstandings were. Also, let us know if, like, you learned anything different from us explaining it to you, or maybe if you have any more questions about something you're not sure of. Just ask us in the comment section down below, or hit us up on Twitter, and we'll be happy to help you. I know that I'm pretty active on Twitter, so, like, if you want to hit me up there, like, that's fine. A lot of you that are on my channel already know, like, usually do anyway, so.
And I always respond to all my comments, so.
Yeah, and sorry for not posting for a while again, guys. Like, what the situation's been going on my channel, so I may or may not get back to, like, maybe a weekly schedule, something like that. We'll see how things go. Maybe I'll depend it on how this video goes, and if we can get this video to 100 likes, let's see if we can do that. Like, I know it's a pretty big one desire, but let's see if we can get it to 100. And
that'd be awesome.
Anything else you want to say, Rich?
Yeah, I guess, well, the only other last thing I wanted to say is, like, I think it's totally, like, okay to be, like, kind of, like, a little frustrated with the situation. Like, damn, gotta pre-order the season pass to get Tira. And, like,
yeah, that's fine.
Be a shame, but it's, like, to kind of have an outrage about it, to kind of boycott the game, that's where we're kind of being like, all right, like, take it easy. Think it over.
Yeah, and you also got to think about the Tira fans. What about the Tira mains out there who may have not even gotten her in the game in the first place? There's a lot of people out there who are like, Tira is their main character. And if they didn't get her, she'd be pretty upset. Like, I know my main character is Taki, and I didn't have her in 5. I got, like, that. I got Natsu, but that's not Taki. Yeah. And, I mean, I was upset, but, like, what can you do? Like, I mean, there's not much I can actually do. So, I mean, at least she's available to us. At least you can buy her. At least, like, she'll be available day 1, too, so.
Yeah, you don't have to wait at all.
You don't have to wait at all, unless you want to wait. And you're more than welcome to not buy the season pass. You're more than welcome to not buy the DLC. And then if you want to keep complaining that she's not in the base roster, you can do that. But in the meantime, the rest of us are going to be using her. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of on you. But, I mean, we get it. I'm not trying to be like document, but, it is what it is. Like, there's nothing really else to say on the matter. Like, they're not going to say, like, oh, yeah, we're going to make her free now. Like, that's not going to happen. If they want to make money, they spent, like, millions of dollars making.
Yeah, I think the only, like, upgrade they would maybe do at most is maybe just make her a general game pre-order bonus. That's probably the most the outrage would get. I don't even think that'll happen.
But there's a lot of people that complain about pre-ordering games. So
it's like either way, they're not going to win. Either way, yeah, no one wins. So, unless they make it free, which, like, they're not going to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, like, warranties and stuff out there that you can look into, especially for, like, Amazon and Best Buy. So, like, if you don't like the game, then, like, deal with that as it is. But until then, pre-order it, try and support the game if you like the game. If you're watching our channels, you probably do.
You don't want to have to wait another almost decade for another Soul Calibur.
Yeah, please. I don't want my kid to be the first one playing, like, the next Soul Calibur. So, that's going to be the video for today, guys. Thanks for joining us again. We appreciate the support, and a link to Rich's channel will be in my description box and vice versa. So if there's anything else you guys need, you know where to find us. And as always, guys, stay powered up.
As I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.